up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down.
You are listening to Wizayne's podcast on the Three Bozos Network. Yo, let's go.
Welcome to another episode of Wizayne's podcast on the Three Bozos Network. I am your host, Wizayne the Pizain. As always, don't forget to follow, subscribe, download our podcast wherever you listen to your podcasts. You can find us on YouTube. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, and even a comment. And social media, X, TikTok, and Instagram. Give us a like, give us a follow, give us a comment. Let us know you're out there. Well, lots of things. A lot of things have been going on since the last time I graced you with my silky smooth, beautiful voice. First things first, it's been a while since you and I have had some one-on-one alone time, has it not? We've had my wife. We've had back-to-back big shows with the other bozos. If you haven't listened to any of those, well, what are you waiting for? Listen. Pump up them numbers. Any hoodles. Sometimes I do cherish our one-on-one time, though. Time for me to just spout what's going on in my pea brain. It's a way of therapy for me, just to talk to the void. Talk to your psyche about my psyche. And I'm psyched to do it. Let's start off with, well, what I always talk about. My toddler. He started preschool this week. Little champion, doing well. He, first day we drive up. My wife and I decide to take him together. So I'm driving. She's in the passenger seat, and little G Money is in the back seat, in his car seat, not knowing what the day is bringing upon him, thinking it's just a normal adventure because he loves car rides. He loves his little adventure, not knowing what's in store. So we pull up to the drop-off, and one of the, I guess it would be the principal of the preschool area. You see, we got little G Money into a nice little private school. It goes from K2 all the way up to 12th grade. And, well, I'm going to be unapologetic about that. I will have the best for my little G Money. Anywho, we get up to the drop-off, and there's the, I guess you would call her the principal of the preschool section there waiting. She opens the door, and she takes him out. Apparently, that works better when they take him away, so they don't associate the parents with abandonment. I don't know. I trust them. They're experts at this thing. And we... Hold on one second. And we get out of the car. We give him a little hug. We say, have a good day, little G Money. Bye-bye. And she whisks him away. He's looking at his face. Like, look, the look on his face as he looks back is, what the fuck? But he did not cry. And, well, I might have. As we drove away, I got a little emotional, a little single tear struck down my face. It started at my eyelash, bottom right eyelash. Slowly as it dripped down, past the crevice between your nose and your cheek. And as it hit the corner of my mouth, I stuck my tongue out and I licked it up real quick. A little salty goodness. And throughout the day, we got updates on Little G Money. Apparently, we have this little app that they make you download. And then they can message with you directly and send you pictures and videos. And he had a grand old time with his new friends. Day 2, much of the same, only I took him by myself this time. I was on my way to work. And this time he cried as they whisked him away. And I didn't even really get to say bye this time. I was just like, I love you, but and he was already gone. I was like, okay then. You know, those drop-off people and the pickup people there, they're scary. It seems like this is a universal thing. They have a very short temper with people who don't keep the line moving and don't follow the rules. So I didn't want to argue. I just let him, like, okay, take my child away. Just don't yell at me. They are scary. Anyway, but he cried this time, but it didn't take him long to get over it, start playing with his new friends again, and, well, it's very good for him. It's good for all of us. We're very happy. To continue on with my son, as I've told you before, we're potty training Little G Money. So tonight, I had him on his little potty. You know, a little potty in the middle of the living room. It's like a bedpan kind of thing, but for toddlers. And he's sitting there, and he's, you know, looking at his iPad, his little tablet, watching his stories on his kid's YouTube. And I'll lift him up every couple seconds. Nope, no peace. No, all right. Put him back down. So then the last time I go to pick him up, before I even just do it, I can see something dark down there. Dark in color. I'm like, So I pick him up off his potty. And what do I see? I see an adult-sized log. That's right, Little G Money. I don't know if he was constipated. That's the thing going back and forth with preschool. Can't tell when he poops. They don't really tell you when he poops. Well, we haven't really asked. I'm sure if we asked, they'd tell us. But I know he doesn't like pooping in strange places. He likes to poop at home. So maybe he held it in all day and it just compacted into a giant adult-sized turd, filled up the whole thing. You know, sometimes when you go poop and it, like, so much of it is in there, it curls around in the bowl and sticks up out of the water. It was like that, but for him. But it was like, man, kid, how did that's impressive. How did that much fit inside of you? I could tell he felt a lot better. The kid went from like 28 pounds down to 22 instantly. And then tuckered him out after that, so we put him to sleep. And then I started this podcast up to talk to you people, to tell you about my son G Money's bowel movements. And I hope you appreciated the story. Because, well, anytime your toddler goes pee-pee or poo-poo in the potty, it's a big deal. Make a big hubbub about it. I go, yay, you pee-peed in the potty, or you poo-pooed in a potty. Wow. Yeah, make them happy about it. And I get to go take them away and clean them up, and my wife, she gets to deal with the aftermath. It's kind of a good deal, honestly. So that's the latest with Little G Money. Anywho, before we get to any kind of political news stuff, I just had a few things that have been on my mind. There's some things I was going to bring up at the last big show, but we kind of got off on a lot of other topics. And well, we just never got to it. And that's okay, because honestly, there are backup topics in case things get stale. Most of the time, I let things just flow. Let me, as I say, push back the curtain a little bit. I'll tell you how the prep goes for the show. I find a list of things to talk about. 5 minutes before we start, I tell the guys, hey, we're going to talk about these things maybe. They go, okay, just so they have something in their mind, and like the guys aren't just going, You guys know who I'm talking about, right? When I say that? Yeah, okay. And that's it. Very minimal prep. We like to be all natural. We like to have a good, I don't know, it doesn't seem scripted. But if things get stale, I have backup topics. Well, I don't think we'll ever get to these backup topics. So I'm just going to go over them with you, my friends who listen to me. Yippee. So, backup topic number 1. I was going to ask how you drink your coffee. That's a simple question. I think I was going to use it as like a way to make fun of one of them if they said something like, oh, I like to put vanilla crapalappa in my... Me, I'm a black coffee drinker. I like my coffee black, just like my poops. Maybe I should get that checked out. It's delicious that way, and I'll tell you why I like it. Well, there's a direct correlation with people who like to drink their scotches and whiskeys neat and black coffee. It has to do with a shock of the taste buds. A lot of people don't like to drink things neat. They'll usually put little creamers and hazelnut dealios with sugar and all that other stuff. I got a couple of rules about coffee. One of which, if I don't use sugar. If I'm going to sweeten anything, I'll use honey. I usually save that for teas. I do like a good tea too. Or, okay, I'll have to admit something. I like my coffee black most of the time. I'll drink about 2 to 3 cups of coffee a day. One of those cups, if there's some like little girly creamer around, I might put just a dash in there. Like a person at work, they like to bring these little Chobani white chocolate creamer things. And I might just put a little bit in there. Yeah, it's kind of good. But most of the time, I drink it black. Because real men do. They drink black coffee. Brr. Yeah, anyway. And then the other topic I was going to bring up is, how do you eat your steak? Because honestly, if you're not eating your steak rare or medium rare, you're eating it wrong. You might be able to get away with it medium. If you're eating it medium well or well done, you might as well be eating a fucking shoe. Nobody eats steak like that. You probably eat it with ketchup like fucking Patrick Mahomes. Gross. Ugh. Anyway, not that it really fucking matters, because I don't even eat steak anymore. You know, I had the heart attack. You know, I've only mentioned it like a gajillion fucking times on here. Don't feel bad for me. Anyway, yeah, switch to that Mediterranean diet. If I'm going to eat red meat, it's going to be a cheeseburger every so often. So I don't even eat steaks anymore. So why do I care so much how somebody eats a steak? Well, they should enjoy that shit, is how I think about it. Anyway. Topic number 3. There's something about sticks. I don't think women will ever understand it. If I'm walking around and I see a cool looking stick, I can pick that bitch up and look at it, and I can really admire a cool stick. You could show other guys the cool stick, and they would say, man, that's a nice stick. That's a cool stick. You show a woman, and they're going to say, put that fucking stick down. Are you stupid? Yeah. Something about a stick. Especially if you can find a stick that looks like other things, like a stick that looks like a sword. Oh, dude, that's like the holy grail. Or a good walking stick. I think it goes back to our primitive nature. Having a good walking stick as we're walking around, and having a weapon handy in case a predator comes after our sheep as we're shepherding. Yeah, we used to shepherd a lot back in the day. So a cool looking stick, multi-purpose, used to kill snakes. Maybe you got a snake while on your nature path and you got your walking stick. Well, you just smash that bitch's head. Yippee-yo, there you go. Cool looking stick. The other thing is holes, digging holes. I mean, digging a ditch kind of sucks, but like if you're at the beach and somebody's digging a hole, hell yeah, you can appreciate that nice hole. Literally, you could have a group of guys that don't know each other and they're walking by and they see a hole. They'll all crowd around that hole. I don't know why. It's something about holes at a beach. And it's a guy thing. And sometimes guys, they'll help you dig the hole. Like, all right, come on, let's go dig this bitch. I don't know where it's going to go. I don't know what we're going to do with it. But yeah, dig that hole, motherfucker. Anywho, that's about all I got on that. So, you know what time it is. On to the news. And I guess the big story right now is the whole Elon Musk interview with Donald Trump on X Spaces last night. I guess there was a 45-minute delay because there was a DOS attack, whatever, dude. They did something to delay it. And it finally got underway. Bunch of people, especially people on like the liberal side, been talking, oh, why did Donald Trump have such a weird lisp? What's wrong with him? Are his dentures falling out? Weird, just more weird ad hominem attacks on Donald Trump. Like, he has shit you can make fun of about him. He has a ton of shit you can go after him about. Why do they always focus on these little, like, things that don't matter? And they're blatant kind of lies, too, you know? It's like, hammer him about the shit that he does do. Anybody who's ever done a podcast knows that, yeah, I mean, you got a shitty mic quality, or compression ratio sucks, or you're off on your equalizer levels. You get like a lispy sound. Hold on. I'll give you an example. You can pop your peas and it like completely, makes your audio suck. That's obviously what happened. So he had like this kind of shitty audio thing going on. From what I saw, it was like I think it was a lapel mic that was plugged into his phone. Anyway, whatever. It's not a big fucking deal. People need to get over it. My favorite thing about the whole interview was, well, first things first. I listened to about 30 minutes of it before I just went, I could not listen anymore. It was really boring. The audio sucked. Elon Musk is probably about the worst interviewer of all time. The guy says, worse, more times than Bose does. Sorry, Bose. And it was just not very good, honestly. But one of my favorite lines ever that Donald Trump said came out of it. I said to Putin, don't do it, Vladimir. And I told him things that what I would do. And he said, no way. And I said, way. Can you picture Donald Trump sitting in a room with Vladimir Putin and him saying, don't do it, Vladimir. Don't do it. I'll tell you the things I would do if you do it, so don't do it. And Vladimir Putin goes, no way. And Donald Trump goes, oh, way. That is about the funniest fucking thing I have ever heard in my life. I guess you have to have a really good imagination for it, because I could just see it in my mind's eye. The entire interaction going down. That's fucking hilarious. Oh. And then other than that, he just went off on a bunch of shit about how Kamala, whoever, what he wants to call her these days, basically sucks. She won't do any interviews, which is all true about the interview portion, at least. Eventually she's going to have to get out there. She's going to have to do some interviews. She's going to have to do some debates. And her track record is not very good when it comes to public speaking off teleprompter. So she'll either have to get some canned questions, probably from like a MSNBC or a CNN or something like that, who's not going to make her look foolish, or she's just going to look ridiculous, because I don't trust the fact that she can get through an interview or a debate without saying something like, the Ukraine is a small country next to Russia, which is a bigger country. Yeah. Or talking about school buses or whatever. She, like right now, if you look at the polls, she is leading in a lot of them versus Trump, because she's the new thing. The liberal media is all in lockstep, basically supporting her from all around. A good example of the bias on this is Time magazine not long ago had a cover of Donald Trump Meltdown, where it's like an artist rendition of Donald Trump's face melting. And then they had just recently they had one of Kamala Harris, and at the bottom it said, "This is her time." And it's like this beautiful pencil sketch drawing, like realistic, inspirational looking. They're really backing that horse, like big time. But it's going to wear off. The newness is going to wear off, especially if she keeps hiding. She cannot keep hiding. She's going to have to get out there in front of it. Yeah. I don't like her VP choice. I think that was a stupid choice. America's kind of sick of old white men, and she picked an old white guy. Yeah, is he incredibly liberal? That's the other thing. Yeah, pick an old white guy who's incredibly liberal, who you're incredibly liberal. So you're going to get more votes by showing everybody how liberal you are? People usually don't like the extremes. They want to be more moderate in the middle. As much as people hate Donald Trump, his policies are right-leaning, but they're more of the moderate right-leaning, not the extreme right-leaning. So, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens in the near future with that. But, well, other than that, I don't have anything else on my mind. So we will do what we do every time I have nothing else to talk about. We will go to the trusty 1440 news feed. 1440 news feed. Oh, Middle East on alert. A potential Iranian attack on Israel is expected as soon as this week, U.S. and Israeli intelligence reported yesterday. The attack would come in retaliation for the July 31st assassination of Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh in Tehran, which Iran attributes to Israel. I think they've been saying this for about 3 weeks now, but I don't know why they would keep saying, "We're going to attack you, Israel. We're going to attack you." Why don't they just do it? Like, why give them warning? Just do it. Or don't do it. Even better, don't do it. Iran's missile and drone units are especially active, according to U.S. and Israeli assessments, similar to activity seen before Iran launched over 300 projectiles into Israel in April. In response to the heightened threat, the Pentagon has deployed a guided missile submarine to the region and is working to expedite the arrival of an aircraft carrier to help defend Israel. So we are getting very involved in this. Israel says it has put its military on high alert and has begun offensive and defensive military preparations. I really love getting in wars on other countries' behalf when they can more than capable of taking care of themselves. I just love that shit. France, Germany, Italy, and the UK have issued a joint statement calling on Iran to refrain from attacks and for ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. Those talks are scheduled for Thursday, though it's unclear if Hamas will participate. Probably not. It's just going to keep getting worse and worse and worse until it gets better. And I don't think it'll ever get better. You're going to see more and more people dying. Everyone. Well, I've talked that subject to death. It's sad. I don't know what else I can really say, you know? It is what it is at this point. I just want the U.S. to stay out of it, you know? If Israel is going to go out and just blow the fuck out of everybody, blow up the fuck out of everybody, I don't know. I can't fucking talk right now. If they're going to go attack everyone, they can just do it on their own terms. I don't think we should be involved in it at all. But it is what it is. Mars water discovery. An ocean's worth of water may be hidden underneath the surface of Mars, according to research published yesterday. The findings alter hypotheses about Mars' geological evolution and offers a new place to search for possible signals of microbial life if the reservoir can be accessed. If you believe that, if there is a Mars and it's not just a projection of light on our flat globe Earth, I mean, come on, think about it. Is you think there's really a red ball floating around in space, hundreds and millions of miles, how many long? It's really far fucking away. I know that. And then on top of that, this red ball that is a desert wasteland on top has water underneath it. I mean, come on. The research is based on seismic measurements captured by NASA's Mars InSight lander in 2018 to 2022, which suggests the underground reservoir is trapped roughly 7 to 13 miles beneath the red planet's outer crust. Geophysicists estimate the amount of possible groundwater could cover all of Mars to a depth of roughly a mile. However, accessing the liquid water could be challenging as drilling a hole even half a mile deep on Earth is difficult. This is one of those, we did it, but we lost the technology things, like with the moon. How much you want to bet? That's what they're going to say. Yep. I don't believe it one bit. I think this is just more like bait and switch. Look over here, guys. Look what we're doing on Mars. There's no Mars. Not really. Not how we know it. Mars was wet roughly 3 billion years ago, as evidenced by ancient lakes and river channels, until its atmosphere thinned. Scientists previously believed the thinning atmosphere caused much of the water to freeze, escape into space, or be absorbed into minerals. Watch an overview. Okay, whatever. Well, that's enough about that fake news. Mars. Whatever. Wildfires near Athens, Greece. I'll probably blame it on global warming. Oh, whatever. Sorry, Greece. Georgia, Ohio State, and Oregon are 1, 2, and 3 in college football's AP Top 25 preseason poll. The 2024 season kicks off August 24th. I am stoked. I love me some college football, especially my alma mater where I graduated from. Looking forward to this season. And yeah, I actually, my wife and I will actually be doing a bar crawl sponsored by our alma mater. I think it's a way to like raise funds, you know, for like booster type stuff, but it's a lot of fun. We've done it in a lot of years. You see a lot of players and coaches, and it's really cool. Can't wait. Rachel Lillis, Pokemon voice actor star, dies at 46 of breast cancer. I wonder which one she voiced. Oh, she voiced Ash. They do that a lot where if it's like a young boy in a TV show, they'll have the woman do the voice, like in The Simpsons and this, and I think in Rugrats, Well, that's sad. I was never a big Pokemon guy, at least not the show. I played the games. Games are really fun. That's a good game to play. Any of them, honestly. I was always big on RPGs, Final Fantasy, Xenogears, Suikoden, that kind of shit. And Pokemon's like that. Got to catch them all, level them up, make them fight. What's not to like about that? But the show's not my cup of tea. I'm a little too old for that. A little too old for video games too. But hey, who fucking cares? They're fun. Skip that one. Let's skip that one too. Psychopharmacology. Wow, that's a hard one to say. Psychopharmacology Journal retracts 3 papers on MDMA's potential for post-traumatic stress disorder following the Food and Drug Administration's rejection of drug application. Retraction is attributed to unethical conduct during clinical trial. So to me, it looks like the FDA got involved, said, no, we are paid off by Big Pharma. So if there are any kind of potential for this drug, well, sorry, can't use it. Big Pharma is already using its influence on post-traumatic stress disorder. MDMA can get the fuck out of here. Maybe they did do some unethical. I don't know what's considered unethical. Let's look at more. Let's see. Stress disorder is rejected. Blah blah blah. The company said the research and doesn't really say. Oh well. So it looks like it's just like going back and forth into the courts about it. Yeah, I really don't trust any government agencies anymore. FDA, CIA, FBI, NSA, CBS, NBC, POOP. If it was up to me, I would get rid of every single government agency and make everything state. Make it as local as possible. Because unfortunately, when anything federal gets any kind of power, they never let it go. So that's why anytime that you have a federal agency, a federal anything wanting more power for whatever reason it is, always vote against it. Always. I don't even care if it's like a, it seems good on the surface. It's not. It sucks. 10 times out of 10. Somebody will come along and abuse that shit down the line. Kind of like communism. It's all good in theory until people get involved. Stock market closed mixed, blah, blah, blah. There's Donald Trump interviewed by Elon Musk. Yep. Seeks $100 million in damages over 2022 Justice Department raid of his Palm Beach, Florida residence. Let's see if he gets it or not. Probably not. And New York judge rules Robert F. Kennedy Jr. can't appear on state's ballot because he falsely claimed New York residency. They really got it out for RFK. I'm not too much of a fan of his. Just alone his grating voice. I can't take it. I really can't. But man, they've been like fucking him since the beginning. He, not letting him on ballots, changing the rules on how much of you have to poll to be able to participate in debates, and then not giving him the Secret Service that he requested over and over till Trump gets shot. Then they're like, oh, okay, maybe we should. Even though he's had people try to kill him too. Yeah, not good having the last name Kennedy. Ukraine reportedly seizes at least 386 square miles of Russian territory and at least 28 settlements following Ukraine forces' incursion last week into Russian southwest Kursk Oblast. I mean, good for them. I'd be wary of the Russian counterattack. Maybe this is a way to end the war. Maybe like Russia is like kind of like, all right, we took. Now we're giving a little bit peacetime, because Russia still has their cold water ports that they got from the Ukraine. From what I understand, those people down there want to be Russian citizens anyway, for the most part. I'm not saying any of it's right. Probably never should have invaded in the first place, but it is what it is at this point. Broker some peace and end this stupid war, because I don't want to fucking pay for it anymore. I think that's about it. We got some clicky bait stuff. Visit these 52 unexpected places in the U.S. Let's just go look at what number 1 is. Let's see. Alaska, walk the Totem Pole Trail. Arkansas, dig for diamonds. California, glamp here. I fucking hate the whole glamping thing. Why do they have to make that a thing? I'm going glamping. Like, go kill yourself if you go say that. You go camping. You don't go glamping. Ugh. Fucking worst term ever. This is like, yeah. The end of days are coming, people. I'm going to glamp through the whole thing. Fucking morons. Colorado, see more than mountains. Is a bunch of stupid shit. Not worth it. Connecticut, stay at the country's first net zero hotel. Meaning that it will generate at least as much. Yes, I'm going to Connecticut solely to stay at the country's first net zero hotel. This is like the stupidest shit in the world. Feel the seaside pride at Delaware. Yeah, I want to go to Delaware. Florida, plan a colorful weekend. Spend a weekend getting to know some of Miami's most dynamic neighborhoods. Hopefully you don't get killed. Yeah, no, I went to Miami once. I've been a few times to go to see. I'm a Miami Dolphins fan. Went to see a few games. But that's not really Miami. I really just went there to watch the game and then left. One time I went to South Beach. That was pretty fun. South Beach is pretty dope. You got some big old titties, and they just don't really have a. Yeah, you can go topless there. Some of them do. A lot of thongs, things like that. Yeah, it's pretty cool there. But for the most part, Miami sucks. Anyway, Idaho, dive into a diverse dining scene. Because that's what everybody says. I'm going to Idaho. Anyway, that's enough of that. That's a stupid one. Study finds more screen time means more toddler tantrums. I'm fucked. Well, now that my kid goes to preschool, he's not on the tablet as much. But, yeah, honestly, I think that's bullshit. That's bullshit. I mean, you don't want him on there all the time. And don't trust me, my kid's not on it all the time. But there are times when mommy and daddy want to just sit on the couch for 20 minutes without little G money all up in our business. So we give them the tablet and say, here, you watch your YouTube Kids with your Bluey and your Blippy and your every fucking thing else. I think that's perfectly fine. Okay, well, that's the end of that. And like we do on every Pizain's podcast, we end it with a day in history. But before we do that, I need to sip some water. I'm a bit parched. Some high quality H2O. Sharpshooter Annie Oakley, born in 1860. Florence Nightingale, pioneer of modern nursing, dies in 1910. Fidel Castro, born in 1926. Construction of the Berlin Wall begins in 1961. Baseball great Mickey Mantle dies in 1995. And celebrity chef Julia Child dies in 2004. And we have a quote from Florence Nightingale, or Florence Nightingale, as some people call her. Poetry and let's start that over. Poetry and imagination begin life. Well, I'd like to think the words that exit my mouth are a sort of poetry on this podcast. And as you imagine my thoughts made into words and begin your life anew, I hope that you will follow, subscribe, download our podcasts wherever you listen to our podcasts. Find us on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button, as the young kids say these days. Give us a comment. While you're giving comments, find us on X, TikTok, and Instagram. Give us a follow, give us a like, give us a comment. Well, on that note, I bid you adieu. Until next time, my friends. See ya.